35 News.
2012, the candidates for Orlando mayor. They squared off in a real debate tonight, one of two, co-hosted by Fox 35 News and the Orlando Sentinel. Incumbent Buddy Dyer trying to stave off the worries that if reelected, he would abandon Orlando midway to pursue a bid for the governor's mansion. He then touted his record as Orlando's chief executive.
We have looked at our resources and we prioritize them, and we said that public safety is job one. So we have more police officers per 1,000 residents and more firefighters per 1,000 residents than any major city in the state of Florida. Violent crime down 40% over the last several years.
And the other three candidates, they took the chance to use today's debate, of course, to take some digs at the mayor.
I do have concerns about the way business is done in City Hall, Mr. Mayor. I feel like we have a political buddy system in place. I think it's wrong.
I will balance the budget as we have seen, because that's not an accomplishment of a mayor. That's a requirement of what the voters are sending you to that office to do.
We don't need a mayor and commissioners in City Hall making decisions for those taxpayers out here who have to pay for it at the end of the day.
Let's check in with a couple of the moderators for tonight's debate. Mike Simon from Fox 35 and from the Orlando Sentinel, Mr. Scott Maxwell from the Taking Names column, something we all enjoy reading every single day. All right, guys, first up, let's just talk about it. Who won this thing? Scott, I will start with you.
Well, I don't know. One, I guess Buddy Dyer would tell you, in fact, I heard him tell me that his goal was sort of to come off as mayoral, and I think he did that. He basically had everybody coming at him, and I think he handled most of it. I think some of his opponents have some legitimate criticisms, and he doesn't have an answer to that overall. But Buddy's overall argument is, look at the city, look at what it looks like now versus when I took office, and if you like things, you want 4 more years of me, and I think he pretty much got that message out there.
Mike, you agree?
I would agree with Scott in that the mayor did look mayoral. Phil Diamond was very sharp in his criticism of the mayor, but it's over very detailed policy, so it was difficult for Phil to come across as a guy that you really want to run out the door and vote for. He's going to have to work on that if he wants to win. Meanwhile, the mayor, very effective in bringing his mother and seating her in the front row. That certainly was a big deal for him and the audience.
Scott, you know, the mayor knew that he was going to be taking heat today, but my goodness, Mike Cantone again and again calling it, his administration anyway, a culture of corruption. How did that go over?
I don't know. Actually, he ended up getting some boos near the end. There were certainly Dyer people here. I think phrases like that resonate, but frankly, they're a little strong, and that's coming from someone like me who's had a number of strong criticisms of the mayor. There's a difference between criticizing policy, taking issue with it, and calling it corrupt. And frankly, if there was corruption, somebody would probably be in jail, or at least there'd be charges. And I think there's a buddy-buddy system. Maybe there's some of that. Maybe you take issue with some of the choices he's made. I certainly have. But I don't know that a phrase like that thrown around that often is going to have mass appeal, certainly not enough to get a majority of voters in the city.
And Bob, even Phil Diamond said that word was too strong. The corruption word was too strong, and it did elicit some boos from the people that were here, although the people that were here were very downtown insider, if you will. Not sure how that culture of corruption phrase will resonate with voters, but Mike Cantone's certainly not scared to use it.
And of course, Phil Diamond is one of the more critical people of Buddy Dyer and the way he spends his money. We haven't mentioned Ken Mulvaney. We should here. Ken Mulvaney, Scott's taken 2 runs up the hill at trying to knock Buddy Dyer out of office. How did he fare tonight?
Yeah, sort of my line for him is, if at first you can't succeed, lose again. I'm not exactly sure what Ken Mulvaney thinks is going to be his secret weapon this time. Frankly, one of the best things I thought he had going for him was that he's a Republican. It's a nonpartisan race, but he's not really playing that party card against a Democratic mayor. So I'm not sure what he really offers other than a name that is certainly more familiar than, say, Cantone. He's basically sort of a no voice on a lot of that. I don't know where that's going to get him at the end of the day. I think if you want to know, if you're looking for somebody who's critical, Diamond's, he's got some more rational sort of reasons that he can give some explanations to. As Mike said, it's hard for him to get him, though, in a 30-second soundbite.
And it's also very difficult for Ken Mulvaney to communicate with such a thick accent, and it's something that he's worked on, but it doesn't seem like at this point he's been able to overcome it.
All right, Mike Simon.
I take issue with that.
Mike Simon, Scott Maxwell, guys, good of you to join us tonight, and Scott will be looking forward to reading all about it in your column coming up. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.